I can train and certify you as a blacksmith, a clothier, or a woodworker. Which would you like to start with first? Of course. What do you want to know? Anything with metal in it, and I don't mean horseshoes and calipers. The crafting writs are for weapons and heavy armor, so that's what I teach. Bows, shields, and magical staves. Staffs? No, it's staves. I always forget how to say that. Cloth and leather goods. The crafting writs want pieces of light cloth armor or medium leather armor, so that's what I certify. Excellent! We can get started whenever you're ready. Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. Prove you know your way around a forge and I'll certify you. But you have to commit. I can only train one discipline at a time. I want you to craft a simple iron dagger. First you'll mine some iron ore, then refine the ore into iron ingots. You'll use those ingots to make the dagger. Yes, you have to prove you know your way around a blacksmithing station. Those are the rules. For now, bring me an armload of iron ore. Once you're back, you'll refine them into iron ingots. There's a place outside of town which should still have some iron ore veins. Head there and mine it for yourself. Bring me 10 solid chunks of iron ore. If those veins are played out, you'll need to find iron ore on your own.
I seem to be making a lot of enemies lately.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keepers spot them? Darken the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinnereth in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the rogue knights. The Ascendant Order? Here? I heard rumors of knights troubling folk outside of town, but I had no idea they were the culprits. I've had dealings with the Order before. This doesn't bode well. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows? It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked. and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too. Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference. Perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west. The Ascendant Order models itself after other knightly orders, but they're nothing but terrorists. They claim to stand against those who would subjugate the nations of Tamriel under Imperial rule, but I suspect they plan to take power for themselves. They are well-funded and have a strong presence on the mainland. They proclaim a powerful message about greedy rulers and costly wars, but it's mostly rhetoric. Not that the common folk see that. Our conference makes a tempting target, I'm sure. Valencia of the Mages Guild is a dear friend. We shared a few adventures when she was starting out, and I called upon her when I needed help with a conference. She enchanted the invitation medallions the delegates require to attend the conference. I only met Guild General Quentin when he arrived. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid. I understand why the Fighters Guild chose to send him to the conference. Her name is Ravana. She's something of a local apothecary. She uses her skill with herbs and healing to help the folk of High Isle. With the conference delayed, Valencia was curious about druidic magic, so off she went. Quentin decided to tag along.
Rule number one, nothing is too small to steal.
When it's slow around here,
I use only the finest... I see we have quite the traveler.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea? Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once. A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valencia and Quentin it might be dangerous. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived. Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock. They lost. Driven into exile, the Druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. Their wanderings brought them to the Sisters. The followers of the Weird remained behind. They walked a different path than the Druids. We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird, guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal. Our people, the Breton people, went astray when they forgot the ways of nature. Stone walls and empty titles separate folk from the true way. We help them remember what their ancestors once knew. Some circles see it differently, of course. Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work. Yes, travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders. The Weird are Breton witches. They follow teachings and practices that share a common ancestry with the Druids. Whereas we left the mainland, they remained behind to safeguard the forests of High Rock. We have more in common than we have differences. The biggest that you would notice is that the Weirds are all female, while we Druids accept all genders in our ranks. And we organize in circles of common beliefs, while the Weird Sisters form covens.
I can't believe you drank our entire stock.
Me? Where's your proof? Just because I woke up in a pile of bottles doesn't mean I'm guilty. Those could have been gotten there in any number of ways.
Over here. I could use some help. You're the one Lady Arabelle spoke to at the docks, aren't you? You volunteered to help investigate the ships that failed to reach port. It's good to see a friendly face, especially after what just happened. Guild General Quentin accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quentin was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quentin and knocked me senseless. They captured Quentin. I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us? And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quentin. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan. But I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Baccaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated. If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. But who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking? Lady Arabelle and I had dealt with them on the mainland. The Order tried to stop the conference by striking at delegates before they even left Tamriel. We stopped them, but not before the previous guild delegate was killed. Then they appointed me. I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quentin decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quentin wanted to investigate. Turned out I was right.
I understand, Valencia. Do what you must to find your friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude for coming to my aid. It seems once again that Lady Arabelle chose well. Now to see if I can find Guild General Quentin, and by extension, the rogue knights who carried him away. I enchanted the invitation medallions that each delegate carries, so I can trace my own magic to locate Quentin. Now let me see. They moved north and east, across the loch. I see a chapel, crypts, maybe abandoned? No question. Quentin is there. Lady Arabelle asked me to try as soon as we realized the ships were late. I wasn't able to make a connection with those medallions. Maybe they were too far away, or some other magic interfered with my scrying, but I wasn't able to detect anything. No, we need to return to Lady Arabelle and share this information. Then we can mount a rescue for Guild General Quentin. I'll meet you at Lady Arabelle's little pavilion. What she calls her field office, I believe.
That sounds like a Bane chapel, but only one medallion is there. Valencia apprised me of the situation. I believe I know the place where she thinks they're holding Quentin. It must be the crypts below a Bane chapel on the northern shore of the loch. Will you accompany us on this rescue mission, my dear? Smashing. This will be like that time I pulled General Gautier out of a Reach stronghold during the border raids of 566. Now that was an adventure. Anyway, it's too bad Valencia couldn't scry the locations of the other missing delegates. I suppose you've earned the truth, and you certainly deserve my complete confidence. The 3 ships carried High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, son of Yoren the Skald King. I dare say I've misplaced the leaders of Tamriel. I said you deserve the truth. Lord Bacaro invited the Alliance leaders here for peace talks. He hopes to end the Three Banners War. If we find Quentin with the Ascendant Order, we may find our missing royals. Meet me at the chapel north of the loch. We'll rendezvous at a Bane chapel on the north side of the loch. I've already sent an operative ahead to scout the area. Be prepared to defend yourself. The Ascendant Order won't give up Guild General Quentin without a fight. Whatever the situation, I won't abandon Quentin to his fate. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Besides, we have to risk it. Both to save Quentin and to see if we can learn anything about the missing Alliance leaders. We know their medallions aren't there, but they could have lost them at sea. Regardless, if the Ascendant Order uses the chapel as a hideout, we may learn something about their plans. Or a clue as to where to search for the Alliance leaders, perhaps. Not a student of politics, my dear. I understand completely. They're the leaders of the Alliances vying for the Ruby Throne. Well, Irene and Emmerich lead 2 of the Alliances. Ernskar is the son of Yoren the Skald King, who leads the 3rd. You poor dear. You must pay more attention to current events. Queen Irene leads the Aldmeri Dominion, High King Emmerich the Daggerfall Covenant, and Prince Ernskar represents the Ebonheart Pact, the opponents in the aptly named Three Banners War. It's complicated. The Ruby Throne sits vacant, and the Tamrielic Empire lacks an emperor. None of the alliances can stomach the idea that one of the others might win the throne. It's a wonder Bacaro and I got them to agree to these peace talks.
Sorry, the impresario isn't in. Her business takes her all over Tamriel, but she should return soon.
That temple priest doesn't approve of these statues, but what does she know?
Don't mind me. Down on my luck right now, but things are looking up.
You're back. I take it you found enough ore? Refining ore into ingots is a good way to build your muscles. Well, in one arm. Best to switch every now and then. Otherwise, you'll be lopsided. Bring the iron ore to a blacksmithing station. If you have enough, you can refine them into iron ingots. Really put your back into it. When you have iron ingots, return to me. Look near rock formations, outcroppings, or hills. Sometimes you'll see it by streams or beaches where the water has exposed it to the elements. The same goes for most other kinds of ore. If you're in a guild, check the guild stores. They often have raw materials and refined goods for sale. Of course, you can always trade with a friend. Bring some iron ore to a blacksmithing station. You can refine it there to get iron ingots. Refining ore into ingots is a good way to build your muscles. Well, in one arm. Best to switch every now and then. Otherwise, you'll be lopsided. Go to the blacksmithing station and craft an iron dagger. Nothing fancy. You shouldn't need more than 2 iron ingots. Oh, and you'll need a style material. You can purchase them from any blacksmith, or scavenge them yourself if you're thrifty. Every race has a traditional material they work into their weapons and armor. For example, the Imperial style material is nickel. I should know. Every day in the Legion camps, I worked a pile of it. The Nord style material is corundum. Let's start with that. You can learn how to craft with another race's style material by studying racial motif books. They're quite rare, mostly held by collectors, so watch for them in your travels.
Someone keeps stealing my nails.
craft an iron dagger, you'll need some iron ingots and a style material. You can buy those from any blacksmith if you can't find them yourself. The trick is the style material, but I'm sure you know that. Next is deconstruction. You learn a lot when you break something into parts, even more so when it's someone else's work. Go deconstruct your dagger, or anything else really, as long as you do it at a blacksmithing station. You'll regain some components, of course, but the real trick is to deconstruct another crafter's work. You can learn far more by disassembling someone else's material than your own. It's a fancy way to say take something apart. The term originally came from Altmer poetry critiques. High elves consider their physical crafts to be forms of poetry, so it stuck. You can't know what a sword is, only what it's not, and so forth.